Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day today to listen to this presentation on how Patriot and Graybar can help you out in the industrial control systems. The ICS has become an integral part of critical infrastructure and looked at as the next cybersecurity threat here within the U.S. So what we've done here at Patriot is we've tried to take this opportunity within the ICS marketplace, which is expected to grow significantly over the coming years with the looming of NERC compliance in April of 2016, and many vendors out there aggressively investing and rigorously working towards, sophisticated automation solutions, as well as finding ways to secure those solutions. The total market expected to grow, over the next 3 to 5 years from about a $7 billion market to about a $10 billion market. And that's just in the security sector itself. So who are we here at Patriot? We have been in the cybersecurity solution providing arena for about the past 18 years. And what we do is we look to be your trusted advisor that provides tailored technology solutions based on a thorough understanding of what your customers' needs and business needs are. We have thousands of customers within the commercial and government organizations worldwide. We partner with best-of-breed security providers, provide that integrated stitching that's needed between multiple best-of-breed vendors. We provide custom hardware and IT management through different technology providers. Getting into a little bit of the capabilities of where we are here within the critical infrastructure arena, we provide the gamut of solutions starting from consulting to project management to network design and planning, down to the integration and implementation of hardware, software solutions, and also can provide manufacturing solutions and logistics for custom, as we'll get into deeper in the presentation, custom solutions there for the critical infrastructure providers. Some of the solutions we're working on and some of the solutions we can bring to energy, oil, gas, and across the gamut would be NERC 5 compliance. We have solutions that provide remote management for all your end network devices, and that works kind of in hand with the kind of protocol translation or legacy SCADA networks. What we have currently is we have a few devices in different sizes and different arrays that can take, standard legacy SCADA network protocols such as Modbus, DMP 3.0, and provide a translation through serial interface to IP capabilities. So you have the ability, again, for remote access for the network and all the way down to the edge devices, not only to send commands to those devices, whether it be an RTU or reclosure, but also to check whether it's up, check the availability, check backhaul solutions, whether you're using cellular, fiber. And then what we do is bring a full UTM or cyber security network protection all the way down to that endpoint on that device. When I say UTM, it's Unified Threat Management. So we provide all of the firewall capabilities that are required within NERC and then above some. We have the ability to provide IPS and IDS solutions as well as AV solutions right all the way down to the endpoint or the end device on the edge of your network. We have the ability to stop time of day as far as what computer can log in, what IP address they're coming from, what type of traffic they're doing, whether a thumb drive gets ingested as far as what time and so forth. And all of these solutions and all of these devices that we provide are all compatible with private cellular network capability, microwave, as well as fiber solutions out there. When you get into the NERC 5 compliance, there's probably 7 or 8 standards here, which out of the box, our solutions will bring you into compliance. When you look through, you need to identify your critical cyber assets. We have scanning solutions, albeit manual or remote or logical through in network software packages that can scan, identify, tell you what type of software version you're running, check and see what kind of holes or patches that might be out there for those type of solutions. We also have security management and controls. We have SIM tools, correlation engines, and all these will tie together depending on what type of endpoint process you're using. We have a multitude of vendors that we work with, and that's kind of what we bring to the table, is the stitching of being able to see or give you a whole view of your assets within that security stance. Personnel and training, we have a couple different versions for training. We have standard cybersecurity awareness training for your just regular employees. We have it all the way down to true 2- and 4-day classes for your cyber technicians as well. From electronic security perimeter, like I talked about in our devices, we provide full UTM solutions, which would be firewall, intrusion prevention, IPsec. We have encryption. We have VPN tunneling capabilities, dynamic routing, traffic shaping, and all that type of stuff. All these boxes are also ruggedized for thermal, for vibration, and then we have a multitude of enclosures that we can work depending on whether they're put into a NEMA device at your end substation, or whether you need us to provide you know, a weatherproof device. And that comes into the manufacturing where not everything's the same. We have some you know, power converters needed, different microwave solutions, different vendors for the cellular side, so all of that comes throughout within our manufacturing side. We also have physical security that is a part of this, you know, critical cyber assets. We have the ability to basically tie into your physical security right now, so that your existing camera infrastructure can then also be tied into your IP structure, and you can manage that all from a single pane of glass. And then systems for security management, database monitoring, change management. We have the ability to do full updates out there for patches and software applications for different devices out there on your network, all from one central management console. And we provide an extensive incident reporting and response planning as far as where you are right now, where the incident report, what happened, how you're able to drill down on that, and how you're able to find, you know, kind of forensics as far as where that went and how far the incident penetrated. We also can provide you with recovery plans within your critical assets to disaster recovery, business continuity, and so forth. So why are all these cybersecurity, you know, constraints being brought down and people focusing on it more and more? It's because the need from the internal employees as well as external vendors to get, you know, direct and remote access to the equipment. A lot of, you know, the legacy SCADA networks, you need to, you know, you'll drive out on a one-by-one basis to some of that those end devices. What we're looking at using is using a secure device, whether it's through IPsec, whether it's through VPN tunneling, or whether it's through just over your private network. You have the ability now to remote monitor and control those devices. As you look at kind of, let's say, a mid-size oil and gas company out there, as far as, you know, maybe, you know, 30 plants or facilities, you know, multiple servers, multiple hosts, you know, multiple Windows devices spanning, you know, layer 0 all the way up to, let's say, layer 7, you know, 1,800 plus Ethernet-enabled devices networked and terminal servers and so forth. And then you'll have 50 or so, let's say, vastly dispersed backhaul sites, whether you have microwave, whether you have cellular, whether you have point-to-point fiber. Now we give you a single management control through this solution that can manage up to, I would say, between 15 and 25,000 endpoints at any one time. When you look at, you know, I guess a typical or a common, no typical, but a common wide area communications example within, you'll have some, you know, microwave connections, you'll have some cellular connections from your generation to your transmission and down out to your to your substations, we have solutions that can play within each gamut or each spot within from your core network out. So we would start with a UTM device within your core network to keep kind of your IP traffic safe, or your traffic that's coming into your site safe, as well as then tying into whether you have private networks or air-gapped networks and you need security from just physical intrusion, or security down to the endpoint within your substation. And then this is going to walk you through kind of the your typical ICS configuration as far as where your different layers will be, as far as from your corporate domain, your field control domain, your process, your office, your field applications and control. We have solutions that will play at each layer of this, all the way up to application, all the way down to, again, kind of the legacy communications without to your endpoints. So step one, you definitely want to be out there. You need to discover, what assets you have on your network, what assets are critical, what assets are high, low, medium, and so forth. So that's where it all starts. We take a complete inventory of your hardware and software assets and make a record of the configuration. Will help you enforce best practices on the operations, discover configuration changes, and recover lost assets. We now have the ability to, again, manage those assets from a single pane of glass, provide updates, and provide vulnerability assessments as far as when those assets become vulnerable. We have the ability from firmware upgrades and hardening and AV delivery, again, all the way from your web user interface out to whether it be remote sites, whether it be your central secure center. We can tie between private and public networks and become, your one source from a cybersecurity stance. So how can Patriot and Graybar help you guys within this, cybersecurity way? Well, defense in depth strategy starts with mapping of your ICS architecture and enterprise networks that interconnect. So initially, you need to find out, what does your architecture look like? What assets do you have in there? Where are you going to need to protect? And then from your end user solutions, we'll go through the asset discovery. We'll verify the devices. We'll make sure there's no holes. We'll update the firmware, and we'll document the devices. Then from your security solutions, we'll map your enterprise networks. We can provide pen testing, vulnerability assessments, work on any incident response from a forensic standpoint, provide remediation services within that, firewall solutions, IDS, and as I said, AV, and so forth. And then from your converged infrastructure solutions, we can provide storage, backup and restore, and disaster recoveries for facilities that, unfortunately become compromised. So I'd like to thank you guys all for, for sitting in and joining us today. And now I'd like to open it up if you had any specific questions. I left it kind of broad. I didn't go through the individual products. But if you do have some questions, we can go through that at this time.
Hey, Mike, thank you. That was a great presentation. For everyone on the phone call, you can enter your questions on the bottom right-hand screen, the Q&A box. So feel free to do that. We do have a few questions that came through in the meantime. Mike, how many endpoint devices will your solution be able to manage?
It depends on actually what type of how distributed the network is, but from right now, we've had it working anywhere from 15 to 30,000 endpoints on one management console. And then we have the ability, if we need to do HA and daisy chain some of the management if it grows beyond that.
Okay, great. Do you have different environmental enclosure solutions?
Yes. So the boxes that we provide right now are all industrial hardened, and if depending on where those boxes will be put, within a substation, hanging on a pole, or outside, we have a bunch of different solutions that we work with the customer, from an environmental side, to differentiate depending on where they're placed and so forth. We also have rack mount solutions that can fit within NEMA enclosures that may already be on site.
Okay, we got another question here. Can your cybersecurity solutions integrate with physical security solutions?
Yes, I touched on that briefly, and essentially, depending on your legacy solution you have right now, or if you have an IP-enabled solution, we can definitely talk. But from within the legacy side, we still have the ability, depending on the makes and models of it, that we can talk to those as well and become a single point of monitoring for you. Okay, great.
Got another one here. Are you able to provide monthly reporting with a view of the entire network?
Yes, through the analyzer solution we have, we can provide CAM reports, which can help you meet your NERC SIP audits. We can also do customized reports for different departments and drill down on individual assets or individual electronic security perimeters. And you can set them up to run monthly automatically, or you can run them on an as-needed basis.
Okay. We still have a little bit more time. If anyone else wants to type in a question, we still have some time to answer them. But in the meantime, thanks, Mike, for helping us out with the webinar today. Really appreciate it, and thank you all for hanging on the line with us, sorry for the technical difficulties we had at the beginning, but glad you're able to stick with us. And yeah, so if anyone would like more information about this topic, you can speak with Mike Bruner. I think he had his contact information earlier in the PowerPoint, or you can call your local Graybar sales rep or 1-800-Graybar. So I don't see any other questions. So Mike, thanks again. Really appreciate it. And we'll let you guys go. So thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Thank you for your time.